love without the money. Because love, that's what encourages you to go and get your dream.
Right.
Yes.
And
Right.
for me, my priority besides my kids are my job. Because when we say family first, you still got to work and feed my family.
That absolutely.
That's
Yes. That's
So
right.
for me, I felt like what got into me, my way, probably, I hate to say this, probably just getting married too soon. Too soon.
And we do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be honest and say that that is
My kids are not my
that we
mistake, but
right.
I wish I can give them something better. I don't want to say, okay, you have this, that was my past. And I was raised, my parents would say, you can't have a divorce because your kids are not going to be happy. I said, no, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a relationship that's not going well and the kid sees that, how do you think that's right?
Affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
I know personally, my son told me, he said, Mom, he said, I'm actually glad it happened when I was younger than when I got older. He said, but because for some reason I feel like I can handle that better. And, when I got married, personally, I mean, I really, because, I had partied. I had been out there. I had a fun time.
Lucky you.
When I settled down, I really tried to do everything I thought was a perfect way to get married.
Right.
And of course,
What you saw your parents do.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you had the other parts, and now I'm going to do the white picket fence thing.
In the religious, way, trying to do everything perfectly right.
It's your belief.
I mean,
Because you
everything.
saw it.
So the thing is, we were in there in the middle of it, and you really start discovering, I didn't know I was all of that type of a person. Because you think you really know who you are.
Yeah.
But when you get married, you discover there's other facets of you,
Yes.
and they help you discover that. So
Good, bad, and indifferent.
yeah. So one thing for me, to comfort my mentality, my mind, I would say, is that I couldn't look at it as if it was like that person's fault completely or anything like that. Everybody has a part of it.
Right.
But I like to release people. And I released that person from my life because I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be, the single parent and, all these kind of things. But I knew that I wanted my son to not experience certain things over and over. And so to me, I just decided to release that from my life.
Right.
I feel like a guru now. No, I'm just kidding.
Guru Cherie.
Yeah, guru. But that's what release. So to me, it was like a vehicle. And I mean, there are a lot of good, strong marriages out there. We're not marriage bashing, anything like that. But it's a vehicle. So instead of being angry and bitter and everything like that, you have to learn to release situations from your life and you move on. Now, the people that are around you, they don't totally understand maybe what's going on.
Right.
But I would say, if you have somebody that has been divorced or is going through divorce, try not to judge any of it. Don't judge either side. Just be there if they, for a friend, if they need, if they need that person to speak to, or even just go to the movies. I mean, you don't have to hear their whole story, but just be there for what their needs are. Just you don't have to fix it. You can't fix it,
And you don't need to ask a whole lot of questions either. If that person needs to talk to you, they know where you are, and they will come to you. I mean, it's okay. It's all right to ask, once or twice, are you all right? Do you need to talk? But if that person says, thanks for offering, but right now I don't, they know where you are. And another thing, right now we're talking about our destination being our professional or our corporate goals. By no means are we saying that your destination cannot be a mother or a wife.
Right.
Yes.
Those are two extremely important roles. So if it is your destination, if your dream come true is to be a mother, a stay-at-home mother, and to be a wife, that is perfectly acceptable and a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing for you to aspire to. So I just want to make sure that we say that and make sure that that's clear as well.
Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing that I think can hinder people is fear. And a lot of times fear would creep up on me when it came down to my wanting to venture out as far as career-wise. It didn't creep up on me in relationships because, like you said, I always knew, boom, it's time to go. And that was a spiritual thing that came down upon me. It was like, oh, okay, this is not working. What do I need to do? Oh, and then I can strategize, figure it out. Okay, this is what I got to do. I got to get out of this. Oh, I got 2 kids. I got to make, it was.
Even at that, it's not easy. You have to still plan things. Because
you do have to plan.
I did. But that fear, when it came to my career and trying to step out and do certain things that were on my own, by myself, fear crept in. You can't do that. There's no way. Nobody's gonna like your pictures. Nobody's gonna like your videos. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like it would come in, and that self-doubt kick in, and it could kill a dream in a minute.
That still happens for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I really have to fight that all the time. I haven't grown out of it. Even with a really full life experience, I can't help it. It still gets in the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I think that's one thing you have to learn how to kind of shake yourself. Like you have to, whatever praise is for you, whatever takes you to your happy place. I found that, just the other day. I mean, I was starting to think very negatively about some things, having some self-doubt, starting to think about the worst possible situation. And, all of a sudden it just kicked in and said, no, you need to be thankful.
Right.
You need to just give thanks, just start giving thanks. And as I started giving thanks, it's just like all of that, it pushed that tsunami of negativity away. And, the good started coming in, so I was like, okay, I have to remind myself to do that.
One thing I gotta tell people though, women, stop comparing yourself to others.
Right.
Okay.
That is so
when I
good.
say compare, it's because we all have struggles, different upbringing, and lifestyle.
Yeah.
You cannot compare. When I see my friends saying that, oh, I just hate it, she has a nice, body, or she has a nice house, or she has a nice this, I'm like, girl, compare yourself to her. Her parents are wealthy, they have money, so we can't, we can't compare. Or even like a husband that's super, sweet and handsome, whatever, but then he treats her like, bad. So I don't like comparing myself to anybody. I don't know. What's given to me, I take it as a blessing. I cannot compare anybody from me because I want to do my own thing and I want to grow from that.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do when you had, if you remember a situation where you were gung-ho, you were ready to start your dream, you were ready to start your project or this new idea you had, and you had that one little person that always pops up and says, you know what, I don't know if that's a really good idea. Have you thought about this? What about you guys? Have you had that experience before?
I had that experience just in everyday life sometimes. When you share something with someone else and automatically is, well, I don't know if you can do that, or, that negativity, they'll bring that negativity in. And immediately, and I guess too, is as I've gotten older, I've started to really, really realize that I really have to go with what is on my mind.
Oh,
because my journey is my journey. It's not their journey. Right. And you're the only one that knows how and what you need to do. And it's set for you. This is your spiritual walk. This is your story. So for me, I mean, I've had it. People have done that to me. My dad said something crazy to me the other day.
Was it because you were pretty? Do you think people?
No, because my dad, listen. Girl, my dad said something to me the other day, and I'm like, well, I don't even think, listen, because I'm in my 50s.
Okay.
And he started talking about Medicaid. Medicare, what is that? What is the card they give you? Oh, yeah. He was letting me know that they sent me the card.
What is that?
And exactly.
Medicaid.
So, what? I love my daddy, too. I love you, daddy.
We love you, Dad.
He started talking about that, and I'm thinking to myself, this man has already put me at rest home, and it's a rest home somewhere. Daddy, I don't think do you remember who I am?
Yeah. And if you think about that, ladies, think about I'm 52. Y'all want to tell your age?
I'm 54.
54.
Yeah. And we're finding ourselves all in the midst of working on. we're finding ourselves that we have been through different vehicles, and we're embarking on still working on our dreams, and we've just been in different vehicles. But you know what? I think we're blessed because we you have the activity of your limbs. You can move, you can breathe, you can see. We have so much going for us, and there's a lot of people out there that are having to start over. So we just want you to know, you don't have to just think, well, I could have did that back in the yesteryear days, but no, now just like
still
she
do it
said,
today.
Yeah,
and we have so much wisdom.
Oh, yes.
The older you are, the more you bring to the table in terms of wisdom.
Right.
And you've had the opportunity and the blessing to fail.
Yes. Oh,
because
that's good.
every time you fail, you learn something. You learn
take the lesson.
Right. It's better because now at least you know what not to do. Okay, I failed. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. So you can take that with you to the next time. So at least you can cross that off your list. And if you fail again, at least it wasn't because of those things.
Right. I mean, because how many times have you told one of your kids something and they didn't listen to you, and you could see it, you saw it.
Well, and I was blessed with really good kids. I mean, they didn't give us, a whole lot of worry and trouble, but you can see sometimes a direction they might be headed that's like, well, they're going to have to learn it the hard way. And they have sometimes, and they pulled themselves out of it, and that's all you can really ask for, and hope that they, are able to right themselves or right the ship, so to speak. But I know in another discussion that we've had, it's probably online by now, but Shreya's talked about toolbox, right? So I'm thinking of the word toolbox, like when something goes wrong in your life, learning lessons, it's another tool in your toolbox. It's like you've been through it, you evaluate, all right, what happened there, what was good, what was bad, well, now I know what to look up for the next time. So you're always learning, and that should be celebrated. I mean, you always learn all of your life, and you're never, I don't think you're ever done, or should you be done? There's always new dreams, and I honestly believe it's never too late. Things might be different when you start at a different point in your life to work on something, a new dream, but it's never too late. You can always start again or learn about a new subject again.
That's true. And when we think about vehicles as these different experiences we've had as being vehicles to our dream or to our goals and purposes, a lot of times when we're younger, people spend more time on planning on the car they're going to buy. You got to decide what color the car is, what type of car, does it have a sunroof on it, what kind of rims that you're going to get with it, does it have, that used to be stick shift or automatic,
right.
All these features, but literally when I was thinking about, I was in my career already, I had my own business and all these wonderful things, and I was finishing up college while I was doing that. And then I was ready to get married, but I had not really studied that. I hadn't really studied, what should I really, I just thought I knew. I thought I knew because my parents had been married so long, I thought I knew what to do.
Yeah, there's no guidebook for that.
Yeah. So
no
now,
guidebook.
they have, some of the things, they have little books about, generally, but you still, it's going to be an experience.
And you're letting another person into your experience.
Yes.
So, and now you've got to figure out how can the both of you, because what I've realized about people is that they walk out their truth, and I'm walking out my truth. But can our two truths walk together?
Yes.
Because sometimes they can't.
Right.
And no matter whether that person is a good person or they're not so good person, but if they're true to who they are, good, bad, or indifferent, and you're true to who you are, can you match up and walk that line together.
I find that's really rare. I mean, my parents were married 50 years too. And I so admire people that are able to sustain a long marriage and still love each other. And of course, there's good and bad. I mentioned fun earlier in a marriage. Well, there's a lot of good years. There's a lot of good years. There's a lot of challenges, and it's not about fun. But hopefully you can find someone who does help you, and you help them, and you bring out the best in each other, and you adjust as you go along the way, because life is always going to throw something at you, and you have to be a good team to work together. It's not easy to find.
And you gotta we are energy, so we vibrate. So as you grow, especially being older, and being by yourself, however you define that, it's becomes about the energy that you have and the vibration that you're on, and where am I at? Because if you have that positivity, now not to say negativity, everybody has, sometimes it comes to you. We have to deal with other people, so no matter what, you're going to run into situations. But I'm just saying, in general, we have to do a self-healing and make sure that we keep our vibration up, so the people that we attract to ourselves are people that are more like us. And that's what I've started to learn in my journey as far as being older. In order for me to bring, like meeting Cherie and Becky. When I met you all, it was really, you all had a great personality, great welcoming, you know what I mean? Love, caring. And even though I may have been at a different place, but it drew me in, and I kind of fought it. I think Cherie can tell you that I fought it a little bit, because I did.
She's hard to fight, though.
Yeah, I fought it a little bit, but Cherie was determined, and through that, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Through that, I have started, vibing and getting back into my groove, and getting back into self-love and self-care, and really looking at myself a little bit differently. So even just sitting here and speaking to people, maybe all over the world, it's this is a part of my experience, and I really appreciate that.
I think love is like the biggest thing.
It's the most important thing.
If people only knew that you can love just by yourself. You can love. You don't have to have another, like a mate to love.
Right.
Now, I want a mate. Now,
right
there.
Yeah.
Now, this is
yes.
you have to learn, like she was saying, Tanya was saying, you have to really love yourself. And if you cannot love yourself, you need to make a list and try to figure out, why do you not love yourself? Was it because of maybe a family member, experience, just hardship in life, just something like a depression? You may need some medication. You never know. You need
some counseling.
Counseling, yeah. So you need to figure out why do you not love yourself? You need to find that, because if you don't find it, you will search all of your life. Every dream that you go after, it all comes down to self-love. Not being obsessed with yourself. Like some people think, okay, because I spent an hour in the mirror doing makeup, I am obsessed with myself. Yeah, but we're not. We're just putting the makeup on.
Yeah.
But the thing is you have to learn about you. Begin to learn to love yourself. When I first met Shay, in this building, I had always heard about love. My parents loved me and this and that and the other, but the words that she was speaking, everything was words of life. It was words of love. I did not know it was laced with love, but what was happening is I was feeling that, and it was just so attractive to me as a sister. And so, we became friends, and, we're out of touch for years. And then that love at the right time drew everything kind of back in its place. I totally believe, like what Tanya's saying about how energy and everything works. But I want to ask y'all a question. When you're driving a vehicle, since we're talking about vehicles and how we're getting to our dreams and our places and goals, when you're driving a vehicle, and let's say it's 12 o'clock midnight, and we're not in LA because there's no lights.
Girl, listen, don't even talk about that traffic.
It was just
We don't even want to discuss that. That's a whole nother conversation.
And we're just sitting there, but guess what, guys? The lights go out in your car. You have no headlights. So you cannot get anywhere, correct? Because you really can't see where you're going. You're just in the dark. You're afraid. You're stuck. So in your life, tell us what were 3 lights? What were 3 headlights that came on, boom, through people that began to push you toward where you were going? Y'all can think of 3 different lights. Maria, what do you?
My 3 lights, actually, I always, my kids. My kids. I'm the type that I gotta be strong for my kids. I cannot even cry in front of my kids and let them see me struggle, even though they have seen me. I have to survive. I always tell myself, I will be 47. I need at least 40 or 50 years for me to see my son's kids, which is my grandkids.
Right.
I want to stay healthy. I like to work out.
That's right.
Then, and then I tell myself, my husband now, he's always been there, and moving here from Los Angeles to North Carolina, I gotta go. I gotta work. I gotta get my dreams. I gotta hustle so we can get our house. That's my light.
Yes.
I gotta keep pushing.
So you got one more? That's 2. Kids, husband.
What is it? Oh, my grandbaby.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yes.
I have a grandbaby, so, her too, I want them to move here soon. So, those just family, that's it. Get my dreams going. Those are my lights.
Well, I can tell you 3 lights. I got a whole lot of lights. I was like, when Reagan
You
was in office, he had like points of lights. But some of my lights were, one light was when I was in college, and I had this professor, and he was oh so English. He was such an English professor, and he let me know I was the only one of color that day in the class, and he said, I just want you to know that I always fell 1/3 of my class. And he looked right at me, and I said, well, why is he looking at me? I'm an A student. Why is he looking at me for? So I'm thinking, what's up? I'm not realizing, So the thing is, I ended up working as hard as I could. So I'm not the one he's looking at anymore.
Right.
Like he won't know that he's not looking at me anymore, but I'm gonna make sure I'm not that one person you were looking at in the beginning of the class.
Right.
So I worked so hard in his class that he motivated you to do well in this English class. And at the end of the school year, I did make a B+ in this English class, and I was satisfied with that. And he commended me for my work. And back in those days, you had to do all those index cards. There wasn't a lot of computer work then. So he was the first person that challenged me and told me, you're going to fail, so I'm just letting you know in the beginning, you're going to be the one that fails. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to be that one. I'm going to be the one that succeeds because you don't understand where I came from.
Exactly right.
So anyway, that was all good. And then my second point of light, I would say, was basically, I think, getting through that hurdle of the teacher that, got rid of my internship. I mean, that was really hard because it doesn't sound like a point of light, but it was. It opened my eyes that everybody doesn't like you, and it's okay. It's okay, and you're going to find that in life that you're going to run against some people